This is Coach Saiful with your daily dose of math mastery, and today we are going into question number 3 of your assessment paper number 7. So let's take a look at the question right away. The question says this: if Bob sells a car at a discount of 5% of the usual price, he will make a profit of $2,000. Okay, now if he sells it at a discount of 10% of the usual price, he will make a profit, lesser of course, of $1,500. Okay, find A, the usual price of the car, and find B, the cost price of the car. So first question is, what is the difference between usual price and cost price? Or what's the difference between selling price and cost price? Okay, what's the difference between selling and cost price? Okay, selling price is basically what I sell to you or to the customer. So what I sell, the price at which I sell at. Okay, the cost price is what I buy it at. So for example, let's say if I'm selling cupcakes, okay, let's say I'm selling cupcakes, and I buy each cupcake at 30 cents, okay, that is my cost price. Okay, let's say I sell it off at 60 cents, that is what? That is my selling price, okay, which is over here. So what's the difference in between the two? It's actually the profit. That means that's how much I make money from. That's how much money I make from the sale, okay, from the sale, okay? So basically that's what you have to know, and by now you should be able to do this question, okay? So how do we do this question in a more easier fashion? Now what I would recommend is that I would recommend that you draw out a simple line, okay? This is what I would do, okay? So this becomes very obvious. I'm going to draw for you like this, okay? So let's say this is 0, okay? The price is 0%. This is 100%, or also known as the selling price, okay? Selling price. Okay, now let's draw this very carefully, okay? It says the first part that if Bob sells the car at a discount of 5%, okay? So 5% discount means it will be somewhere, let's say here. So this will be 95%, am I right? Because it's a 5% discount. Now, how much money would he make? He would make $2,000, correct? Now, if he sold it off at 10% of the discount, that means 10% discount means 100 minus 10 gives you 90%, okay? Okay, what is the difference? The difference is actually, I will actually get $1,500 instead. Okay, so can you start seeing the pattern already? Not? Can you see what I'm trying to point out? Not? Can you see that this over here, okay, I'm going to draw a different color. Can you see that this over here, okay, this area over here is 5%. And this 5% is the same as $2,000 minus $1,500. So if you can see it, okay, which you should be able to, you should just simply write $2,000 minus $1,500 gives you the answer of $500. Am I right? Now this $500 is how many percent? 5%. 5% is $500. Okay. So for the purpose of making things easier, let's find out what is 1%. 1% is basically $500 divided by 5, which gives you $100. Okay. Now the question is, find the usual price of the car. The usual price of the car is actually 100%. Okay. So what you can do, it is making something. What are we missing? He will make a profit of. Okay, so basically we find 100%. If 1% is equal to $100, 100%, which is the usual price, which is the selling price of the car, is equals to 100 times 100, which will give you the answer of $10,000. So that is the usual price of the car. If you got that one right, high five, because you are a math prodigy. Good job. Okay. Now, the question that comes afterwards is, what is the cost price of the car? Okay. So I'm going to erase all this so that I can make space for more. Cost price of the car is when I don't make a single cent, which means that there will reach a point in time when I will only have $0. Okay. So of course, if you understand, this is actually a plus 1,500, which means that I earn $1,500. This is a plus $2,000, which means that I earn $2,000. This is a plus $0 because I don't earn a single thing. The moment I go on the other side, what happens? I lose $500, example. Okay, so I can actually lose profit, which means that I sell it at a loss. which is not what I want to do. What we need to find out is what is the price when it's actually $0. So let's include one very important thing. What we notice is that the selling price is $10,000. Okay, let's just write it down. Maybe it might be helpful. So as you can see, 5% is actually equals to 500. Okay, now logically speaking, I can show you in a different manner how I'm gonna find the answer, but I'm just gonna explain. So 85% will give me how much? Plus $1,000, correct? Because I minus 500. 80% will give me how much? Minus 500, you will get $500. Then finally, 75% is what? Minus another $500, which gives you 0. So in other words, we know now that the price should be at the 75% mark. Okay, but how do we show that in terms of your writing in your math, what's it called, working? Okay, what I would do is I would say $2,000 is at 95%, right? So for profit to be 0, okay, this is what I would write. For profit to be $0, which is where the cost price is, I have to erase that $2,000. $2,000 is equals to how many percent? As we have found out, is actually what was it? $2,000 divided by how many percent? 1% is equals to $100. So you will get 20%. Okay. Therefore, you have to reduce by 20%. Okay. So 20% from where? From 95%. So 95% minus 20% equals to 75% of the price. So this is the cost price. So now that we know that the 75% is equals to what? $100 times 75, which gives me the answer of $7,500, and that is the answer for the cost price. Okay, so basically that's it. If you understand, take a look again, listen again, and then you will understand. This is very simple. Okay, so that is basically it for this question. It's actually pretty simple if you know to draw the line. Okay, that's why I say always draw the models, always draw everything you can draw so that you can actually see it in front of your face. Okay, with that, this leads me to the conclusion of this video, which is the quote of the week, which is trust yourself. Trust me, you know more than you think you do. You've been studying your whole life. You should be able to do the questions, because everything that you've already read, that you've already done, is somewhere in your mind. You just have to remember it. You just have to trust yourself. You just have to believe that you can do this. And trust me, somehow you will find the ability to do that. Alright, this is Coach Saiful signing off, saying you are a math prodigy. Good job.